Halo, halo. Hai Danush. Check. Shahrukh. Check. 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 Shwani, sir, can you hear me? Sir? Sir, are you there? Dr. Ashwani, sir.
Yeah, hi, Dhanush. I can hear you.
Yes, sir. I want you to switch on your camera so that we'll adjust the things.
Sure. I'll do that.
Sir, your logo is covering your face.
Yeah?
Your logo is covering the face. One second, I'll send you the picture on WhatsApp.
Logo is covering. Which logo, Dhanush?
Yes, now it's gone.
Okay, all right.
Yes, sir. Can you just a bit sit to the right? Shift the cam a bit to right.
Yeah?
Yes. To the center. Yes, sir. All set. Because we'll be having a recording of this live, as I mentioned about it.
Lower it down. So, Dhanush, I'll be, using a small presentation. Would that be okay?
Yes. Just try screen sharing, sir. I've given an access for you.
Okay.
Just try screen sharing now.
Yeah, okay. Share screen. Turn on the Wi-Fi, off the Wi-Fi from other. Is that okay?
Yes, click on full screen, like start the slideshow.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Looks okay.
Yes, so this is absolutely fine. How many slides are there?
I think 10 minutes I'll because it's an information loaded, because especially for immunity today about this COVID thing,
Okay, sir. For sure. Agreed.
So I think that will be useful for people also,
Yes,
So
yes,
6
sir.
to 7 slides we have.
Okay, sir.
So not much. I mean, of course, we will, in 15 minutes, you want me to leave time for question answers, or after 15 minutes, the question?
That'll be good if after 15 minutes, sir.
So I use the presentation for 15 minutes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then after 15 minutes, the next speaker will come, or you will have the question answer with me, then the next speaker will come?
Yes, sir. First you'll be as a speaker, then you'll finish your talk. Yes, sir.
All right. Sure, Dhanush.
1 second, sir.
लाइव में होना ठीक है
क्या नाम है प्लानो already followed their page.
So yes, sorry for the technical issue. So
yes
so you'll be as a first speaker. You'll be having a time slot around like 10 minutes or like 15 minutes, and after you finish the session, I'll be asking few questions and whatever you have you had to talk about, and that's the end of the show. Then after that, I'll be calling upon introducing the next speaker, and he'll be up to the show.
sure
So
done deal
yes. Sir, would you like I'll just introduce you as Dr. Ashwani Grag, a founder of Functional Medicine Clinic, and Dr. Juice, Health and Wellness Consultant, Corona Disease Reversal.
chronic
Is this
disease yes
sorry? Yeah, chronic disease reversal. Is this fine, or you want me to add any more introduction?
that's okay bro. That's okay
Okay, sir. Just give me a couple of minutes. We'll check with the network connectivity issue with Vani, ma'am.
I think this down there I know some there are 4 screens the I have spoken to one of your I think this team member I'm not sure but I have known them for some I think
Who am I talking about, sir?
so now there are 2 screens one me and there's another photo which is coming and a boy and a girl
Yes, that's the other course panelist who is Vanishri or Adika.
okay maybe I know her maybe
Yeah. Vani ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, Danush. Yes, Danush.
Yes, ma'am. Can you start your video down?
I will.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, Dr. Ashwini.
yeah hi Vanishri
Yeah, we know each other, right?
I saw your picture. I thought, I have spoken to this.
Right.
Fantastic. So, what is your topic
Vani
today?
ma'am, do you have any slides, ma'am?
I have slides, Danush.
Can you try sharing it?
I will do that now. Where should I do?
Just click on the share screen or the down toolbar.
Okay.
Share screen and you'll be.
So I guess I should be able to share it once you guys go live. And I can share it on Facebook. Yes.
Open that one.
You can see Danush?
Yes, ma'am. It's visible. How many slides do they contain, ma'am?
I have, I think 20 or 21, Danush.
Like, what is the time consumption of that slides? How much time will the slides take up? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Danush?
Yes, ma'am.
15 minutes I can finish it.
Okay,
I can finish
ma'am.
in 15 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Then it's fine. Then it's fine.
Yeah, 15 minutes. I'll be covering within the time.
Okay, ma'am.
Dhanush,
Yes, sir.
your Facebook page is Planotech Media House, right?
Yes, sir. It's Planetech Media House.
So it's the latest thing on is you have put online because last is on 20th June, sorry. So
We were live yesterday. We were live yesterday by 2 p.m.
okay. So is it only one Facebook page that you have, or is there another one?
So the last
There's
one.
only one Facebook page, sir. We do have another company named of Planetic Events and Marketing. That is a different media house is part of events and marketing. And you can check on Darshan Kumar K. Just check on Facebook profile named Darshan Kumar K.
Okay, Darshan Kumar. Okay.
We'll be sharing the link on the WhatsApp group, so just check that down.
Okay.
So it's there on his page, but not on the Planotech Media page.
Yes, ma'am.
So Dhanush, the webinars are live on your page, but not on the Planotech Media page.
We'll be sharing it, ma'am. We'll be sharing it once the post thing is done. Post thing is done. Uh,
All right.
one second, mute ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದರ್ಶನ್ ಸರ್ ಇದರಿಂದ
Mute it, right?
Hmm.
Check. Check. Ashi, can you hear me?
No, it's not clicking the link. That's not pasting it. That's the problem.
Ashirwad. Check, Ashirwad. Check. Ashi, is everything fine? Okay. Okay.
Dhanush, all set from my side? Hello? Hello?
Well, greeting speakers will be starting live within a minute. So I hope everything is set and fine. Ashwani, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dhanush.
No, sir, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No, no, you're not audible now, sir.
What has happened?
Just connect to the mic when you use the earphones. Like there's an option when you just plug into the earphones.
Okay.
There is an
Can you hear
option.
me now? She says, Vanish says she can hear me.
I can hear you, doctor.
Yes, sir.
We can hear. So I think there's a this thing.
No, sir, no, sir, you're not audible now. No, sir, no, sir. Just check with your system.
It's all same. Nothing changed. One sheet. Can you hear me?
I can hear Ashwani, Dr. Ashwani. Yes. Dhanush also I can hear, all of you.
I think Dhanush says something.
Mani ma'am, can you try once?
Hello, Dhanush, can you hear me?
Oh, God.
I think something challenge with your setup. We can hear you, Dhanush.
You hear me, Vanish, now?
Yes, yes, I can, I can.
All right. I think from okay from my side. Okay, we got delayed by 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So Planetech cannot hear, can hear, Lata can hear. I think something wrong at the Planetech.
Yeah.
Dhanush?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ Fuck.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Check, check, check. It's audible, but I don't. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, Danush, is it okay now?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, it's all done. It's all done.
Brilliant,
Uh,
brilliant. So let me
okay.
present the thingy. Alrighty. Can you see my screen?
1 second, sir. There'll be an introduction session. Then later you'll be having a talk.
All right, all right.
Okay, so Ashi, go live. 3, 2, 1. Here it goes. Good morning, panelists. I greet all the panelists who are with us this morning with Planetech Media House. Planetech Media House is an independent media house that offers a reliable source of information, news, articles by helping our audience understand the vast and diverse news. Planetech Media House will try a change and innovate to crafting transformative information. Crafting Transformative Information is an initiative for the webinars for all the youngsters out there. And we're back again with the 23rd edition of a webinar of health and nutrition. We do have reliable speakers on a list, and the first speaker would be Dr. Ashwani Garg, who's a founder of Functional Medicine Clinic, and Dr. Chose, who is also a health and wellness consultant and also a chronic disease reversal. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Danush, for having me on your show. It's a great honor for me to be presenting some of the information that today we require. So shall I start with the presentation?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So today, in the times of we're all worried what is going to happen with this COVID infection. It's a viral infection. So I'll just give you some statistics on what is a problem and how do we take care of it. Now, with the data available today, we know that 80% of the people who will get infected with COVID-19 will have a very mild problem, just like a flu, or they might not even know that there's a problem. Only 15% of the people who get infected might have a moderate problem, and only 5% might need a hospitalization. Now, who are those 5% who might need a hospitalization? Are the people who are either elderly or obese or have a comorbidity like diabetes, hypertension, autoimmune problems, and all that. So in these people who are having a comorbid problem, they are immune compromised. Their immune system is not working up to the mark. So to fight a viral infection, we need a robust immune system. When we don't have it, we get into a problem. So what is happening in COVID-19? People who need hospitalization or who need advanced things to take care of them. This is something called cytokine storm, wherein our over responsive immune reaction, which puts us into the problem. So what do we need? A balanced immune system, which is not overreactive and which is not underreactive. So our immune system should be able to figure out that this virus has, or a pathogen has come to attack us, and we should be able to take care of it. We need a balanced immune system to make sure that if we get infected, we don't get into a severe problem. So how do we do that? Now, immune cells, they we keep making continuously these new immune cells. All right, they come from the bone marrow and they come into the bloodstream. All right, now the environment in the body, the kind of gut microbes that we have, they train this immune cells. So they train in a way which is in medical terms we call immune modulation. These cells are trained so that they know what is us and what is from outside, and 70 to 80% of the immune cells lies in the gut, where the modulation of this immune cell happens. So we need a high quality, a diverse, good quality bacteria in our gut, which can train the immune system or modulate the immune system in the right way, so our immune system is not under or overreactive, and it does the job what is required to do. When we get a pathogenic attack, our immune system is able to figure out that this attack, and it does on the right time. So if it's a modulated immune system, then we don't have to worry about the cytokine storm also. So even if we get infected, our immune cells will be able to knock down the bacterial or the viral pathogens. So now we understood that we to have a healthy immune system, we need to have a healthy microbiome or microbiota in our gut, especially of course in the nose cavity, ear cavity, on the skin. We all has good and bad quality bacteria, so we need to ensure that we proliferate or we enhance a good quality bacteria in ourselves. So first of all, let us see what is that is killing our good bacteria and which thereby reduces our immune capabilities. So there are some things that I have listed down in the slides. The first thing is the overuse of antibiotics. When we take an antibiotic without a doctor's prescription over the counter, it is not healthy. Every time we take an antibiotic, it kills the good bacteria. When the good bacteria are killed, then bad bacteria will overgrow. This is where the problem comes in. Now, if we eat a lot of refined carbs, lot of processed foods, they also feed in the bad bacteria. When the bad is more, good is less. This is where the problem comes in. When we take a lot of sugars in our food, when we are stressed out, when we use pesticides into our food, or we take hybridized food or packaged food, these are some of the things that I have listed down, which we can today avoid unnecessarily taking of antibiotics, or ensuring that we are taking a clean diet will ensure the good quality bacteria in our gut. Thereby we can have a robust, well modulated immune system. That's a requirement today to make sure that if we get infected, we don't get into severe problem. So how do we grow this microbiota? How do we increase the diversity and the quality and the quantity of good bacteria in our gut? So first of all, we should be, eating something called rainbow diet. Rainbow diet is nothing but basically means that all different colored vegetables and fruits, especially in the raw form. If we take in the raw form, that is the best. We should not microwave our food. Microwave kills 97% of the flavonoids which are required to feed in the good bacteria and of course the immune cells. So if we take too much of use too much of a microwave, it kills the nutrition. If we boil the food, it still kills the 66% of the flavonoids. So steaming is the best way, especially when we are working or looking for ensuring that we want to increase the immunity or immune modulation. So steaming of food and eating that, and having the rainbow diet is the best thing. Now there's something called prebiotic and probiotic foods. So what are the prebiotic foods? These are fibrous foods which we can feed it to good bacteria to increase their number. Now prebiotic food include shankalo, sweet potato, cabbage, dandelion greens, garlic, spring onions, beetroot, asparagus, green peas, sweet corn, banana, especially raw bananas, apple, watermelon, grapes, cocoa, flaxseed, dry fruits. Now, see some of the things easily available today with us. All we need to do is increase the amount of these things in our food. If we take this food into our diet, we are having a lot of fiber. Now, in these fiber will make sure that we are feeding the right bacteria. When we have the right bacteria, we ensure that we have the right well modulated immune system. Along with the prebiotic field, it's also important that we keep taking the good quality bacteria. Now what are the sources of good quality bacteria? Fermented pickles, fermented vegetables like sauerkraut, kimchi, lassi, buttermilk, dahi, kombucha, and kefir. Now all these things will have different strains of bacteria. The more diverse and good quality bacteria we have, the better the digestion ours is. And of course, as a consequence, we get a very healthy immune system which can protect us. Now along with that, it's very important that while maintaining the good quality bacteria, we also have to understand what is this immune system made of, what are the basic ingredients, the raw materials that immune system needs. Now a person is low on vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin C, B complex, vitamin D, we might not have a healthy immune system. So today, luckily we have these labs running high quality test where we can check our vitamins, we can check our minerals. Now let us understand some of the importance of these different minerals and vitamins. Now vitamin A supports the immune cells. Which cells? phagocyte cells. Now, these are the cells which are from the innate immune response. When a virus or a bacteria comes in, these are the first time, first reaction from the immune system, and these cells will engulf those unwanted things. Now, vitamin C also helps in cell growth, also help in vision and fertility. Now, vitamin E is an antioxidant. Its main function is to prevent oxidative stress and keeps the blood vessel, hair, skin in a healthy shape. So, and next is vitamin C, very important today, that to protect ourselves from this COVID infection, or if we get infected, we can prevent the severity of infection. Now, vitamin C will boost our immune system. It reduces the stress. It helps to protect them from illness. So if our vitamin C is low in the body, we cannot recycle intracellular fighters like glutathione. So if we feed ourselves enough vitamin C from the food or supplementation, we ensure that we have enough glutathione. Now, glutathione is one of the best detoxifying or antioxidant. B complex, very critical for cellular function. Now, B complex, B6, B12, and folate, which is B9, helps in WBC maturation, growth of and the production of antibodies. So now, if we get a viral infection over a period of time, our immune cells will make antibodies. But if we are lacking this essential B complex, we might not produce enough antibodies. Even if we produce, they might not be of the great quality to serve us. So it's important that we have this nutrition in our body. Along with that, very critical today now in the lockdown period, and especially in the city life, we don't get expose ourselves to the sun. When we don't expose ourselves into the sun, we don't have enough vitamin D. Now, what is the other source of vitamin D? We can take a supplement for it. All right. Now, it's a immune modulator. Immune modulator means, then if we have a well modulated immune system, that means our immune system will not be overreactive or underreactive. We can prevent the possibility of a cytokine storm if we get a viral infection. So low levels affects the ability of innate immune system to identify invaders as well. So one, immune modulation it does. Another one is it helps in the innate immune system, wherein that's a first line of the defense mechanism for the immune system. So if we don't have enough vitamin D, we are in trouble. So either we should expose ourselves to sun, which is a natural source of vitamin D. If that is not happening for some reason, we should ensure that we take supplementation. Of course, we should be doing with the doctor's guidance. Then along with some of the vitamins and some critical minerals, for example, zinc. So zinc is an essential nutrient for rapidly dividing cells, especially during infections. Without zinc and other trace minerals, the enzymes that clean up the damaged cells and the pathways between the cell don't function properly. So if we don't have enough skin, we might not be able to fight the infection. If we don't have enough selenium, that's another problem. Along with that, we also need to have enough proteins in our body. How do we get the proteins? From the diet. We need to ensure that our diet is not simply taking a lot of white rice or the carbs. We need to ensure that we take enough of proteins along with the diet. Now, along with the proteins, we also need to ensure that we take healthy fats. Healthy fats are very critical today. Everybody is scared that if we take fat, we'll get fat, we'll put on weight and all that. That's a bad fat which will give you inflammation, and as a consequence you might put on weight. But if you consume healthy fats, you will lose weight and you will have a healthier body and a healthier immune system. So that's very critical, that we have to have right amount of minerals, vitamins, right high quality carbs, not the processed carbs, and along with that proteins and fats. So we need to have the balanced diet which have the balanced macro and micronutrients. So it's very important that we should have a right digestion also. Now, if we eating well, but our digestion is not happening, we are constipated, there's bloating, there's gas, there's diarrhea. So that means, even we have the best foods, we still it will be difficult to make sure that our body has enough nutrients because our digestive tract is not up to the mark. So what are the problems with the digestive tract if we don't have the right bacterial balance? or we don't have enough of gastric acid, hydrochloric acid. So today is a problem. Today we see everybody is popping those antacid proton pump inhibitors, just like that, just like a chewing gum or a candy. So we have to be careful with using this antacid. Of course, it should be done with a careful, very experienced physician's guidance if required. Otherwise, hydrochloric acid is a very important acid required for the digestion of the food. If we don't have it, we don't digest our food, we get into malnutrition. Malnutrition again weakens our immune system. Along with that, some digestive enzymes from the biles, from the pancreas. So all those are required to make sure that whatever we are eating is getting digested and becoming part of our system. Now today, we also has to understand what is disrupting our immune system. Why so many people are having a poor immune system, or people getting into autoimmune conditions and all that. There's a lot of toxins are floating around us. Lots of toxins are floating around, especially aluminium. Today we see every one of us is cooking into aluminium vessels. It's very unhealthy. Arsenic is another problem, mercury is another problem, lead is another problem, polluted air, chemicals, pesticides, white sugar, refined oils, processed foods, lack of physical activity, and of course today microplastics. Now these some of the things that I have listed down, which are not healthy for your body and for your immune system. You have to take care of it to make sure that if you remove these things, slowly you will see your energy levels will increase, your immunity will increase, you will be a healthier body, a vibrant body. So to have a healthier body, we need to stop using the substances which can expose us to these toxins. So if we detoxify our system and we nourish our system, we can have we can reduce our weight, we can have a clear skin, we have more energy, regular bowel movements, mental clarity, very important today. Most of us don't have enough mental clarity. And of course, today's depression is another important topic, which is, we see for depression there are physical components, there are non-physical components. A non-physical components are environment that we work in, or the social structure that we have. But the physical components are the, do we have enough nutrition in our body? Do we have enough good bacteria into our gut? Do we have enough vitamin D into us? So if we can take care of the physical components, we have become we will have enough ability to fight this external stimulus which we don't have control over. So to ensure that we have a right immune system, right mental clarity, we need to detoxify our system, we need to nourish our system. Just to help our viewers, so of course this should be done in a doctor's guidance. Just daily requirement of vitamin D is 5,000 international units per day. Okay. Now if we are not exposing ourselves to our sun, get a blood test, get to know your levels of vitamin D, and take a supplement or expose yourself to the sun. Vitamin C, 500 grams milligrams, sorry, that can be taken, or 1 gram can be taken over a period of 1 day in divided doses. Of course that can be done in a doctor's guidance. Along with that, there's a very important supplement which is available. It's called NAC. Now this is the precursor to glutathione. It will help your ability to boost your immune system. Along with that, a healthy fat which is omega-3, which can be taken. And of course, you should drink enough green tea, which will boost your immune system to fight the viral infection. Along with that, make sure that you take enough of pro and prebiotic foods. Make sure that you have the right diversity and the quality of good bacteria. If you do that, at least we cannot control the virus. Of course we are doing a social distancing, we are putting a mask and all that. But along with that, you need to have a robust immune system, a robust healthy body, so that even if somebody gets infection, the infection does not take a severe form. I think that's all from my side, Danush. So I'm open to take your questions.
That was really informative session from your side, sir. I really felt educative about the vitamins which we have to be consuming day to day. And you also mentioned about vitamin D and vitamin C too. Well, I do have a question where everybody right here is obsessed of overweight. Overweight. And are individual genetics important in factoring in their weight or diet goals?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there are two things, of course, what kind of genetics we have, and then another thing is what are the genes exposed to. Okay, now we cannot change the genetics, but we can change or control the expression of it if we have the right environment around the genes. How do we create the right environment around the genes? We need to ensure that we don't take any toxic substance, any processed carb. Lot of sugar can manifest a lot of problems. Okay, and the human genetics only 1% to 2% of the complete genome. 98% of the genome that we have today is bacterial or viral genome. Okay, we today, as per the science, it is being taught that we are a host to the bacteria. So we need to ensure that we get in the right bacteria to our gut, or into our body, so that these bacteria again in turn control the manifestation of the expression of our genes. So this is called epigenetics. So the kind of environment, kind of bacteria that we have, that will control the expression of our genetic makeup. So if we have a poor genetics, does not it's not a problem. We can still take care of it as long as we work towards it.
Yes, that's for sure. And this is the time where we're all spending 24/7 stuck at home because of coronavirus. And because we feel hungry 24/7. It's regarding all the students, like all these teenagers who's staying at home. Is that nutrition which we consume is being excess, or it is getting lower the down line? How is this happening? Is it going to
Oh,
affect any of the things?
it's a very brilliant question, and I would like to love to answer that. See, the kind of food that we eat will proliferate the different kind of bacteria. All right, when somebody is hungry all the time, it's not their body is asking for the food. It's a bad bacteria and the fungus asking for the food all the time, or the sugars they are asking. The cravings are not because the person is asking for it. It's a bad bacteria and the fungus in the gut which is making them eat certain things. All right, so this is called
Yes,
gut
sir.
brain axis. Our gut is influencing our brain. Okay, now if we bring the right balance, we ensure that we take the healthy non-processed food and non-hybridized food. You will see over a period of time your bacteria will come in balance, and your cravings and hungers will go. You will only eat what is required.
Yes, sir. And that was really informative because that was my personal question. Actually, I would be hungry 24/7. That's for sure. And
So I mean, we
uh,
should not be. See, sometimes we should get into guilt feeling that my body is always asking. I'm also, I'll be always hungry. I have to binge on certain things. It is not you which is the problem. It is the bad bacteria or the fungus which is the problem. Now, if we solve that problem, you don't have to be blaming yourself for that.
correct, sir. And how much protein, fats is required to be consumed in a day?
I think again there are recommendations from the different organization, but for my side, I would say we have to take high quality. We have to take what you say non-hybridized proteins, or the non-processed fats. The next component is see, we can take as much we feel. We don't have to worry about, really we don't have to calculate those things. That's a old theory. The next thing is, are we able to digest what are we taking? Today you see there's so many people are taking these protein powders. Some of them will get a good
Correct.
body, some of them will not get a good body, simply because some of the people, they don't have the enough digestive enzymes or the bacteria to ensure that the protein that they have taken becomes a part of their system. So basically from the gut only the nutrition should go into the bloodstream, where it can become a part of our system. Now we don't have the enough gastric acid or the enzymes or the good bacteria. Doesn't matter if we take a more or less, we are not able to digest. So my take on that is, we should be comfortable in eating. We should not be overeating, or we should not be under eating, to reduce our weight. To reduce our weight or to manage our daily requirements, we let the body do its job. Our body will tell what it needs, as long as we feed the body with the healthier foods.
Yes, yes, that was really informative once again. And you do have many questions online. And there's another question for you. Are modern Indian diets without constant reliances on rice, wheat, leading to an increase in chronic diseases? And what actually do you mean about gut and gut bacteria?
All right. That's a good question. Yes, the white rice, they're only carbs. The wheat is hybridized. These two are leading to the all the more. This is one of the reason for behind the what you say, the chronic issues. Of course, dairy is another thingy which is which is becoming a part of the trouble. Now, what I mean by the good bacteria, just like a tree has a roots. Now, all the roots are in the soil, and a lot of bacteria are around it. The good bacteria, they break down the soil and feed the root with the nutrients that goes into the tree. All right.
Okay.
Similarly,
Yes.
we have good bacteria into our gut, good fungus into our gut. All right. When we eat something, they produce enzymes. Those enzymes will help you to break down the food. Now, these bacteria, when they eat the fiber, they give, as a byproduct, they give us B complex. They give us some very nutrient things which are required for our system. When we lack these things, or for example, somebody got an infection, have taken antibiotic. Once
Mhm.
one dose of antibiotic, one session of antibiotic, we need to ensure that we get back those good bacteria from the pro and prebiotic foods. If we don't do that, our digestive tract will slowly start deteriorating. Okay, so bacteria will has to live close to the nature. There are so many bacteria around us. We need to ensure that we inculcate all the good things into us.
I'm really learning a lot of new things today. I don't know. It's been a very interactive and an informative session for me today. And there's one last question for you. How will I know about my gut bacteria doing well or not? Being a vegetarian, what extra precautions should I take?
Okay. So first of all, to know whether we have the right quality bacteria or we don't have it, we can do a microbiome testing or microbiota testing. There, somebody will come take a stool sample. They will, check all the different strains, good or the bad, and then based on that, they will make a recommendation that you need to take these foods or you don't. You have to stop these foods. Now, being a vegetarian is not a problem. Okay, in the
Yes.
vegetarian food we have enough proteins, we have enough good fats, enough for example, today the misconception is that B vitamins, especially B12, as a vegetarian we might lack onto it. All right, now the
Correct.
B complex is formed by the gut bacteria. If we don't have the right bacteria or we don't have the right digestive enzymes, then we can get into deficiencies. Even a non-vegetarian person can get into deficiencies even they do eating a lot of proteins. I mean, I have people coming to me, they are non-vegetarians, still I find they are deficit on too. When I run a blood test on them, I find them they are low on the proteins. All right, so it's not how much or what you put into mouth, it depends how much you can actually digest or metabolize.
Yes, 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 sir. And I would wind it up with one last question. These are all for the people who are above 50 who have low immune systems and below 10 who are low immune systems.
Right.
Give a short note with what protein diet they should follow down during this corona. What should they follow down, and what are the needs they should take care? In a
Okay.
short note.
So for elderly people, to boost the immune system, the first trick that they can do, which is simple, which is called intermittent fasting or time restricted fasting. See, it's just like that. Uh, when we if all the day long we are cooking into our kitchen, there's no time to clean the kitchen. Same is the with body. If I'm always feeding my body with foods, body is only busy in processing the food. It does not have the process. It does not have the time to clean it. So the first thing they should do is a time restricted eating. They should make a window of 10 to 8 to 10 hours in a day where they should eat. Rest of the day they should keep hungry. That is for the elderly people or anybody above 15 or 60. Okay, now they, as a vegetarian or as a they should avoid anything genetically modified. The wheat is genetically modified, the milk that we are getting is genetically modified cows. Next thing they should do is they should they should check their nutritional status. Of course, they can work with their doctors, check their vitamin D or different micronutrients from blood testing. They will, whatever is missing, they can supplement that. All right. For a kid's perspective, I think they should be fed with they should be avoided with the dairy which is plastic packaged, or which is a pasteurized milk. It is very difficult for a small young kid to digest the milk. Today we think the calcium that we get or a protein we get is required from milk, but unfortunately 40% of the milk we don't even know whether it is milk. It has some urea into it or some other chemicals into it which looks like milk. It's not milk. Second, it is coming from the cow which is hybridized. Now the same milk we think it is healthy for us, and we end up having a problem. All right. So I think
Yes.
avoiding which can damage and start eating which is a healthier and natural food, we can reverse chronic illnesses. We can make sure our kids don't get into trouble or frequent infections. And of course, today soil is also depleted into the nutrition, because we are having a lot of crops every year. So we don't feed the oil with enough of organic matter. So soil is also getting depleted into magnesium, zinc, and all that. We need to ensure we check the levels into our blood whether we have enough of the micronutrients. If we don't, have to make use of the supplements to make sure that our body is healthy.
That was an amazing session. I got a free consultation from a doctor. That was that. I really felt so informative having a conversation or a talk show with the Planetech Media House. I thank you for being on this platform today. We're glad to have you here, so thank you so much.
Thank you, Danush. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Let's get back to the session of crafting transformative information. Our second speaker would be Dr. Vanishri, who's a doctor and a nutritionist. Over to you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can start the session.
Danush?
Yes, ma'am. You can start the session.
Okay. How would I start? It's a good afternoon or good morning.
It's a good. It's
Ah,
morning yet.
right, right. Great. In fact, it was great listening to Dr. Ashwani Garg and information, especially
Ma'am, your connectivity is low, or we can't hear you. Vani, ma'am, we actually can't hear you.
Current situation. I would be talking more on basic. Danush? Danush, can you hear me? Hello? Danush, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you. We can hear you now. Ma'am, are you there? Vani, ma'am, your network connectivity is very bad. I think so.
Challenge here. I have some challenge here. Just a minute.
Yes, 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 ma'am. Take your time.
Yeah.
Well, due to few connective issues, we'll be getting back. Uh, Ashwani sir, would you like to answer a few more questions?
Yes.
Yes, Dhanush.
Yes, sir. Would you like to answer? There's couple of questions which I missed for you. Would you like to answer just before Vani ma'am get her network connectivity check?
Yes, Dhanush.
Yes, sir. Would you like to answer? Oh, okay, Vani ma'am. Vani ma'am, are you online?
Yes, there is some technical challenge I had. I think I
Yes.
can, yeah, yeah.
You're audible, ma'am. You can start the session now.
Right. Yeah. Let's understand more on good health, as basic as how to take care of our health. Right. Doctor was talking about the more of the health condition and the reversing and lot of good tips doctor was sharing. And let me talk to one very basic tip. 1 minute. I have some challenge here.
You're all perfect now, ma'am. We're audible.
What's that?
Vani ma'am, you can start.
Yeah. Yes, Dhanush.
Yes, ma'am. You can start the session.
Right. Yeah. So if you can see this, the good health, if you see the definition from the WHO, it's like, the overall well-being, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and I think all of us know what it means. And then if we have to concise into the pattern, what we have to follow, it is more about, I would always say these are four pillars, which is very important for our good health, like, balanced nutrition, a good portion and proportion of, all the, plate, what it should contain, and then good exercise and a good amount of rest, and then positive attitude. Right, I want to start with this because a strong positive attitude is so important. It can act like a great miracle, it is wonder drug, what we say, because in all the aspects what we follow in our life, the attitude makes all the difference, right? So even with respect to the nutrition, food what we take, and then exercise what we do, or whatever the action we do, so the positive thought makes all the difference. The next important pillar what I would like to cover it upon is exercise. Doctor was again telling about the importance of exercise, and you were asking too the good questions on exercise and those things. The important, like, everybody need to do some exercise, again depends on their body condition or disease condition and age, everything, but on an average what we'd recommend is around 30 to 45 minutes at least 5 times per day. And it is recommended not just after the food, it is at least 3 to 4 hours gap, and the best time is early morning. And always I would recommend is a varieties of exercise than sticking on to a type of exercise, because body will also become used to it, especially when somebody is working out with respect to their weight reduction. And then, yoga, pranayama, all are very good. I'm a great follower of yoga and pranayama, and those are all really a great benefits we can get it from those patterns. And then the other thing what nowadays they're telling is sitting long time. COVID has unfortunately, lot of people are working at home, and they have an opportunity to work, but they have to sit in a place long time. At least in office, they, here and there they go, here they sit for a long time. And they say that sitting is a new smoking. You know what that means? Like if you sit more than 3 to 4 hours in a single place, that is equivalent to a one cigarette smoking. I would always say, I just have to avoid a passive smoking. But if I sit in a place for a long time, it's equivalent to a smoking. So it's so important every 1 hour at least to get up and stretch ourselves a little, if not, a big walk. 5 minutes every, 1 hour or 1.5 hours, what we say, and some move what we can do makes all the difference. As simple as blink your eyes and just relax, or take a deep breath, or smile or rotate, do few basic steps which can help us to make some movement within our body, so that it can help better than making that sedentary life. The other important thing is adequate rest, right? Because doing exercise and taking good food, all is important. At the same time, taking rest is also important. In Ayurveda also, what we say is night rest is very much recommended. We say divas swapna nishiddha. That means daytime sleeping. The lot of metabolic disorders, what we say, maybe all these obesities and the diabetes, all these things, we say it is mainly because of the metabolic disease, and that happens because of the daytime sleeping. So it's very important to avoid daytime sleep. Yeah, if at all somebody is very much tired, recommended 10 to 15 minutes of maximum rest, but not a daytime sleep. Especially after food, we recommend not to sleep. And the night, a good rest of 6 to 8 hours, depending on again their body conditions. And the recommended other tips would be, you can see here, good food at the night and the light food dinner, and then reading some good books would also lead to, because in these COVID situations, I'm going through a lot of cases who are telling they're not getting a good sleep. That leads to, I mean, that reason can be different. Maybe a lot of thoughts running, a negative thoughts running, that can be also the negative impact on that. But the other things also important, avoiding the screens. At least I would recommend at least 1.5 hour before sleeping, avoiding the screens, and the 2 hours of sleeping, I mean 2 hours of food taking before the sleeping time would be always a great tip to follow a good night rest. So I was telling you I'll be talking more on the nutrition, but I wanted to cover those pillars first because it makes hand in hand. It is so important to cover everything together so that we can have a great health. Because just the nutrition, although it shares a major portion, that is just is not enough. A good attitude is also makes all the difference. When we talk about types of nutrition, doctor was beautifully covering about the protein, fat, and all these, micro and macro nutrient, what we call. What does that mean? Macro is what you needed in a major quantity, micro what you needed in a minute quantities. Like if you see our basic Indian diet, wherever the place you belong to, if you see your meal plate, what we always say is like, major portion would be our rice, and then there will be dal, and then fruits and vegetables, and all those things, pickles and papad and all those things. So what does that mean? That means we need to take more of a carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Dal is a rich of protein and a carbohydrate and fat. So you were asking the one right questions like what, how much is the requirement of protein, carbohydrate? Doctor was beautifully answering regarding that it again depends on the body conditions and then absorption, everything. And on an average, what is recommended is protein, a good quality protein, which is very important, a combination of varieties of dals. Right? See, non-veg has a good source of protein, but then that is not safe in the long run. That too, if you see COVID, this situation, lot of doctors are recommending not to take more of a non-veg source, being it is more of a acidic in nature. So if you see in that way, the plant-based nutrition is the best. So, but it actually has the lack of in each dal there is not a complete protein. So when you make a combination of protein, I mean combination of dals, then it can leave a very good protein, like varieties of dals, using on an average 50 to 60 grams of protein per person. Like for men around 55 to 60 grams, and for ladies 50 to 55 grams protein, what we recommend normally. So again, it depends on the quality protein, and more of isoflavones is better, and not unadulterated, which makes all the difference. And carbohydrate, again, talking on that. So it's very important what carbohydrate we take. We have to take more rich of fiber rich carbohydrate, not a polished. Like if you see maida and rava, all the suji, what we say, all these are more of a polished, more of a refined. So we have to take more rich in husk. So that is more important as a carbohydrate intake. And the fat, again, doctor was telling, if you remember, so fat is good, but we should know what fat we had to take. So we say omega-3 and omega-6 is a good fat, but then again the ratio matters a lot. So omega-6 is, most of the oils what we take is omega-6. It is again needed to our body for a lot of health conditions. And omega-3 is something which is very important for the, I mean, with respect to taking care of our health, or, reducing the inflammations and infections. The ratio should be 4:1. That's what we say. And the other fat, which is bad fat, is that is called trans fatty acids, what we say. What is, how do you, like a normal general person, how do you know what is trans fat? Anything which you open and eat, maybe start with your, open from the plastic cover and eat. Most of the time, the ready food has a trans fat, which is not good. That doesn't come under nutrition at all, but end up we taking lot of trans fats. So that leads to lot of health challenges. And then vitamins and minerals, which is a combination of more of a fruits and vegetables. Right. So the reason I want to spend more time on that, because that is something which is very important to take care of our health, a good balanced nutrition. So all of us know this, why we need good nutrition, right? To take care of our good health and to give energy, and especially the protection from diseases. Everybody think in that angle right now more, right? So the next topic would be, what is the challenges with respect to gaining a right nutrition? So most of the informations are actually going hand in hand what doctor was telling, but I don't want to cover everything here. But lot of these things, if you can read out the slide, these things are causing a challenge with respect to absorption of the right nutrition. Our body condition is different, our demand is different, need is different. All these things lead to a lot of challenges. And with respect to the soil depletion, I definitely want to make a point on that, because now the way we wanted to grow so fast, everything has become so fast, and we want to even grow the vegetables and fruits so fast and add so much fertilizers, artificial, which can again come to a body where it goes. When you add to your vegetables and fruits, that come to your body. And the maturity of a girl or a boy is happening so early now, and it is causing a lot of challenges, with respect to their growth and development, because too early the kids are growing now. And a lot of other challenges, like imbalanced meals, and overcooking foods, and using more of those aluminium and non-stick things. All these things are really causing a lot of challenges, which leads to, see, what happens is, when we don't take a right portion and proportion, it leads to a lot of malnutrition, right? So malnutrition is not just a lack of nutrition. Even if you take more of a nutrition, that is also called mal. I would like to call it as malnutrition, right? Because of eating more in mal, that leads to a lack of nutrition, that is malnutrition. So undernutrition will lead to a lot of challenges, and with respect to micro and macro, loss of weight, all these things, because of the lack of protein. And then all these other challenges of anemia and all would cause because of the micronutrient challenges. And I was telling you about the malnutrition, which is causing more of the lifestyle challenges what right now the people are facing. That's more with respect to their eating habits, and with respect to their digestion capacity, what we say metabolic challenges, which leads to a lot of lifestyle diseases. Nowadays, if you ask a family, at least one or two would have these type of challenges. I'm not scaring you, but then that is a situation right now. So what's happening is, end of the day, we just accept, like, that is a situation, I'm taking tablet, and I can't change much. You were asking one question, that how much is that genetic contribution? Yes, genetic contribution is that, but it is not 100% which is causing. The diseases are becoming genetic. It is more because of the same food pattern and same thought. Everything is running same from the generations. And there is a chance which is in our hand, which we can take, by doing a good exercise and then good food, what we can follow. It makes all the difference. What are the challenges? As already covering about the malnutrition, the other challenges are the lot of stress, which leads to a lot of challenges. Especially, I would like to call something called a free radical effect. right? The stress leads a lot. And if you see nowadays, people having lot of neck pain, and then digestion issue, all these are not just because of the food, it is mainly because of the stress as well. And then dehydration, not taking a good amount of water. And I already covered about malnutrition, and doctor covered so beautifully about the inflammation is the the reason for a lot of diseases. And the tiredness, and poor eating habits, and less of physical activity, that is something which we have to keep it on our priority of thought, doing a regular exercise. Because I would believe a maximum challenge again depends on your condition, because disease condition we can right away, we can't put them on a physical activities. But yes, doing a right follow up, following up with the right doctor or a wellness consultant, you can definitely bring back with a right proportion of nutrients, and with the right physical activities. The poor health habits, which I was already covering. The other one point which I would like to tell you is prajnaparada. I think for most of you it's a new word. Prajnaparada is nothing but doing something by already knowing it. Like, I know a lot of things is not the doctor's knowledge, it's a general knowledge. If you see your old generation or your generation, lot of things you already know what you have to follow, but still we do. Prajnaparada is, I know that prajna, I have that awareness, but still I do. Avoiding that can really help a lot of good conditions. A few other tips which I would like to give you again here is following a right food pyramid. That is not made just for the sake, right? There is a reason why it is made. I was telling you about the food plate. So we have to eat more of a dals and rice, and then fruits and vegetables, and then oil, and then sweets and ghee. See, in Ayurveda we say ghee is very good, but we don't say it can be a main course of meal, right? So it is 1 to 2 spoon per day. So it's very important we should know how much to eat what. Because if you see the disease, any disease into a manifestation into an organ, that would have started with respect to the challenge in the cell, right? So our organ is made up of a like if you see in the way the cell, and then tissues, and then organs, and the organ system, right? All of us know, we studied in our science. So that means a cell needs a quality food. If you see, if you can track it back, the minutest part of our body is cell. If you give a good nutrition to a cell, we can avoid so many diseases which are going to come in the future. Because when it manifested into a disease, then just the nutrition would not be help. It would not help, because by then there already a disease manifestation, we may need a medication as well. But how we can avoid? By taking a good nutrition. So what are all the things? Bad fat, as I was already telling you, the one great tip is anything ready food which we open in our pocket and eat is has the trans fatty acid, which is definitely a big no. And the good fat, the oil what we take, yes, limit the consumption of oil. The fry, we can keep changing the oils. On an average, what we say is half liter, 300 to 500 ml per person in a family per month is the ideal one. Oil to take, and definitely involve more of these omega-3 food good sources of walnut and flax seeds, and then chia seeds can be added to a food and needed, as doctor was telling. You can definitely go for a omega-3 supplementation as well. And again, carbohydrate is more of a a good, not hybrid, and not refined carbohydrate, more of a husk, more of a like red rice, and all those things, which is take time to digest, which has got more nutrition as well. And then protein, again, varieties of fruits, varieties of dals, and then vitamins, minerals, at least in a day. Two types of fruits, two types of, to start with, two types of vegetables we can add in our diet. Is that possible? Is that too much to ask? No, I don't think so. At least two fruits, not two fruits, I would say two varieties of fruits. Like doctor was telling, that rainbow color diet, at least a different colors, because the color leads to lot of immunity, right? So that is important. If I have to give a simple example, if we go to sun and come back, we feel tired, right? If we stay there long time. But if you see all the trees and fruits and vegetables in that intact, so it will always look fresh, and it looks so intact, and it looks so nutritious. Why? Because that is because of the colors of the fruits and vegetables, or the color of the leaf. So when we take that, like with the different colors, we can also get that nutrition and have that great immunity. And then fiber, which is always lack in our food nowadays, we have to make sure that we take more of a fiber, more of a raw vegetable, which can lead to a lot of good digestion, and of course help in good prebiotic as a prebiotic food. And an important aspect is water, because when we sit, especially I'm observing a lot, when we sit long time and start doing a work and the weather, it'll be so conducive, we just sit in a place, we just forget drinking water. So at least on an average a 10 glass of water or 2 liters of water, which is recommended and needed to take. And with respect to fruits and vegetables, I would like to give you a tip that I would recommend mostly the fruit before 1 hour of food or after 1 hour of food. Vegetables, yes, just before is a good tip, but fruit always recommended 1 hour before, because it's like you take and suddenly you take food because that is boiled, that is not boiled. So it is good to take a little before. And then this is something which I wanted to show you. End up we are doing this, but I would say no, not that we should not take we have a good taste buds in our tongue, but then yes, if we are very conscious on what we eat, how much to eat without having that guilt feeling, because feeling that I have to eat, how would I avoid, and those feelings again creates that craving and leads to a lot of challenges. If you can keep that limit how much I eat, then it makes a lot of difference. The other thing which I was telling you about that antioxidant, doctor was also telling about that the free radical effect which is happening because of the stress or the not good food what we take, that is again causing a lot of ill health. So antioxidant like vitamin C, vitamin E, the rich foods when we take, that helps a lot to our good health. The overall solution I was covering about with respect to a good nutrition, and then good antioxidants food. And the other important tips I would like to give is Nidana Parimardana. Again, it's a typical word of Ayurveda. Nidana Parimardana is nothing but avoiding the cause, avoiding the problem itself. Like when I know, I was already telling about the Prajna Parada, that's a direct answer for that. When I know this is causing me problem, like imagine I have some infection right now. So then it is not recommended to take fruits because it is not good. Then I had to take a boiled vegetables or a light food, maybe a red rice ganji, or we recommend more of this green dal porridge or khichdi what we say. So I should know what is the reason, and it is not that all the time you need doctor. Yes, good to have a doctor friend and get the tip, but few times if you think back your old diet itself, it can give you a lot of solutions. Yes, good nutrition makes a lot of difference, and needed supplementation. And when you're choosing a supplementation, it's very important what is the source of that supplementation, how good it is that recommended, they have, do they follow that the good practice, and do they have that more of a natural and organic ingredients. So definitely needed, we can go for a supplementation, and then make some changes with respect to our lifestyle. And needed, because there are few cases it's very difficult to reverse just by a food and a supplementation. In those cases we need medication. So in Ayurveda we say shamana and shodhana chikitsa. That's like a symptomatic treatment and a shodhana. Doctor was telling that intermittent fasting, like that there are varieties of shodhana, that is called a purification, detoxification. So again, depending on the condition, depending on the age and the health, we recommend shodhana and shamana chikitsa as well. And overall, the final tip would be drinking more of a water, good sun exposure, 15 to 20 minutes. Again, that's a very good source. But yes, if there is a lot of deficiency when you go through some tests, we may need to take a supplementation. Any point of time, it is good to take, right? And good vegetable salads before the food. And breakfast, eat breakfast like a king, and lunch like a prince, and dinner like a beggar. All of us heard about that, right? So that means we have to take more good food, protein rich and carb rich in breakfast, lunch a moderate time, and the dinner should be always very light, which is rich in fiber and which is very light, and early dinner is always recommended. The other thing is no sweet and oily food at night, because a lot of people tell that they feel that craving, that taking of sweets food at the end while sleeping or immediately after food. That's because of lack of protein in their diet, lack of fiber in their diet, which leads to those challenges. And the one tip I would like to give you is any heavy items like oily items or sweet, reducing afternoon hours, like when the sun goes down, it's good to avoid a heavy food, because when sun is up, your digestion capacity is also good. Just make sure that don't take a heavy food at the end of the day. So that is some one tip which I wanted to give you. And I think with that I'm done. And over to you, Dhanush.
That was really an informative session about an Ayurvedic nutrition stuff. The way you use the Sanskrit words as prajana, Paradhan, Nidana, Primanja, Shodhana, Shamana. These are all the Sanskrit words. You made sure that this Indian culture is maintaining a perfect diet since long time. So just as a short, if we maintain our Asian diets and nutrition, that would be perfect. We don't need any modern cultures to cut out in our particular diets. I really liked about that, ma'am. But I do have a lot of questions for you waiting down.
Yes.
Well, how can you differ a non-vegetarian diet is healthier or a vegetarian diet is healthier? Because we have equal proteins getting from a mutton, chicken. We have equal proteins getting from an almond or a walnut or any curry leaves.
Right.
Who will be the most healthiest person? Date.
Yeah, I thought after telling this, I'll be getting into controversy, and a lot of you would be asking me these questions. I'm hardcore vegetarian, actually. Not just that, not for the reason I'm telling you, because what we say is non. It is not about the nutrition content from the food. See, food source is like I have a second standard girl who says the food source comes from two, right? Plant and animals,
Yes.
right? So in that, if you see the rich protein, you will get it from the non-veg source. But then when you see our body, the way our the body is designed, teeth from their digestion system, it is more designed to take more of a vegetarian food. That's what scientists are telling. It's not my study which I'm telling. It's not that it is wrong, and especially right now in this condition, heavy food is more difficult to digest. So non-veg will come. I mean, it's a package. It comes along with the fat and more of those red meat and all comes with those fat, which is very difficult to digest. That is the reason we tell avoid. Of course, in that way, if you see, egg is a very good protein, and milk is also can be told as a non-veg source. But then again, the reason I'm telling you, it causes more of a acidic nature in our body, which is again difficult. It can lead to a lot of metabolic challenges. And if you limit your intake of non-veg, maybe a once or twice a week, especially I'm talking about this thick meats, heavy meats like not chicken and fish. That is still good because omega-3 salmon is a richest source in that way. If you see more of a heavy food, I mean to say, Dhanush.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That is good about that also. And there's another question saying that what is clean eating? What
Clean.
is clean eating? Clean eating. I want you to say a short note on clean eating.
Right, right. So again, clean eating is nothing but a meal, a plate which has all the varieties of nutrient which I was talking to you.
Yes.
Right, so it's like you should have on a daily basis a good amount of rice as well. Like a lot of people come out with right now thinking that rice is not good. So we need carbohydrate. There is no chance we come up with a supplementation of carbohydrate that has to be taken from our diet on a daily basis. So equally important is our the rice intake or whatever their staple food with respect to cereals what they take. Maybe it is wheat or maize or whatever. So as a typical South Indian, my main food is rice. But yes, so that is definitely should be there around 30 to 40% what we say. Again, it depends on your body condition. Like if you want to reduce your weight, we would usually recommend more of a protein, so more of a fiber and little less of a carbohydrate. Yes, on an average, around 40% of the carbohydrate, like your rice and these cereals, and around 20 to 25% of the dals and proteins, varieties of dals. If you can cook a moong dal and a green dal and then masoor dal, the varieties of dals in a day or every day changing those dals. Using some dals and cooking with the vegetables, maybe at least 2 to 3 types of vegetables, and taking fruits. I would recommend fruits intake is more in a daytime. So taking at least 2 varieties of fruits or 2 servings of fruits, and then good fiber, like when you take good fruit, that is again taken care, and the curd, which is again a very good probiotic. And buttermilk is the best in Ayurveda, what we say. If you can curd and churn and take out the butter, so that is the best. And adding that, and then a good amount of water. I think that's nothing nothing more than that. That's enough, Dhanush. That's clean eating, I would say.
Yes, that 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 was really informative, and that was really informative about the information of every food structures and every enzymes of clean eating you have been mentioning about. And you said about eat like a king and eat lunch like a queen and a dinner like a beggar.
Yes.
And I wanted to know like. What is the particular diet we need to follow to eat breakfast like a king or eat breakfast like eat dinner like a beggar or lunch like a queen? What is the diet you would like to recommend for all the attendees out there?
Great question, Dhanush. I definitely wanted to interpret in a right way, because again, when we give some keywords, no, people interpret on their own way, right? I have no, my own processing, which I think, yeah, I think doctor told with respect to this angle. So I wanted to definitely clear it that the eat like a king means king have all his kingdom, he can rule, right? That means is in a breakfast you have a liberty of taking more of a varieties of fruits, and the first thing which is very important is protein, because the whole night so much recovery happens in your body. The most important is protein in the morning, but we fed up taking coffee, tea, and all those things, right? So
Yes.
better not to take a coffee, tea as an immediate food, maybe a one or two dry fruits or something like that to start with. And then coffee, I know even I also drink coffee, but then giving a gap of half an hour or so and then drinking coffee would be one of the option. And with respect to breakfast, like if you see a typical, I know I'm not telling North Indian food is not good. Again, they take wheat chapati, that is that has got protein. But if you see our South Indian diet, we take more of a dosa, idli, and that has got probiotic. It has got no natural cultivated, I mean natural yeast, and then no, it has got urdal, which is protein. So that is also a good no, protein rich breakfast. But definitely in to some extent even bisi bele bath is good, but not more of a all these baths like what is that,
Lava, tomato
palav, and
bath.
because it
Yeah.
doesn't have, yeah, doesn't have much of a protein. So make sure that have protein also with the breakfast. That's what I mean to say, because you can take even more with respect to breakfast, and eat like the eat what is that, lunch like a queen or a prince, I would say, because they have again a limited share. If you see, king has a major share because he have a major portion, right? So they like if you say in a prince, he has a limited share, right? In that way, you have to take more of a fiber also with respect to your um, lunch. So protein again needed, and then more of a vegetables, and vegetables boiled and raw both can be taken, and then dal also, which is important, because in a lunch we say more of a sabjis, right? In the sabjis it can be
Correct.
vegetables and even the dal. The dinner, why it is very
Correct.
light, we should take, and we should take early, because at least there should be a 2 hours of gap, because when the food get digested we have all the time for the repair, the 9. Otherwise, imagine we take it 10 and then we sleep. The all the time it takes is for the digestion itself,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, and
Yes.
the light one is always good. I know a lot of people come up telling me that, and if you take light, they feel hungry at the 10 o'clock before
Yes.
sleeping. Yeah, there is a challenge. I agree. In those cases, I would recommend maybe turmeric golden milk. If you'd have seen Ayurvedic doctors recommending nowadays more of that, jeera kashaya or turmeric milk can be one of the great solution there before sleeping. Something which is very light, that can be done.
Yes, ma'am. That was really information about the session. I really learned a lot of things from you. Thank you so much for being on Panatech Media House. We're glad to have you here.
Pleasure, Danish.
Yes, ma'am. Well, let's get back to the session with Crafting Transformative Information, 23rd edition of webinar. And our next speaker would be Samir Ansari, who's a holistic wellness coach and who's also a celebrity fitness coach. Over to you, sir. Samir, sir. Samir, sir. Samir, sir, are you there? Yes, yes, sir. Okay, the session is started. Sir, over to you. You can start the session.
Hi,
Yes, sir. You can start the session.
I can start the session.
Yes, sir. You can start the session.
Okay. So, hi, this is Samir Ansari from Mumbai, and I've been into health, wellness, and fitness for almost 10 to 12 years now, training celebrities in Mumbai, and have done my qualification and courses from American College of Sports Medicine. And also, I've done my diploma in Ayurved. Sorry, not Ayurved, but in yoga from Mumbai University. And I'm a lot into Ayurveda as well. So earlier when I started, my programs were always based on the modern science of weight training, cardio, flexibility, muscular endurance, different types of training, and also the nutrition were based on that. But down the line, 5 years after coming into yoga and Ayurveda, my programs are more based on the the eating on based on Ayurveda and the psychological and psychophysiological aspects of yoga. So now, I mean, I won't be telling you that, just go and do heavy weight training and take a lot of protein. So all those things are not there. Okay, so coming to the point that where I can now integrate the modern science, the nutrition modern science, exercise modern science. So the science which is modern in nature related to exercise and nutrition, I've combined that with the ancient Ayurveda and yoga. So combining all that, it's a very very lethal combination which people can follow. So all of my clients has been following this particular pattern of where we still train ourselves in weight training, but we still try to incorporate Ayurveda and yoga. So I would be talking a lot on immunity and of course the nutrition. What I have understood now after the COVID-19 is in place, everybody is well aware of nutrition always, well aware of immunity always. But now they have realized that immunity is important. It was always of a great importance. But people are now understanding because of COVID-19. So if you see, it's not only the coronavirus or the COVID-19 disease, a particular virus is affecting you. You see, there are so many different viruses and bacteria which affects you on daily basis. But if you have a good immune system, you'll be able to fight it back and get rid of those viruses naturally without getting into the medicines. Not the medicines, but the drugs. Normally when people talk about medicines, I say that medicine does not mean the antibiotics and the painkillers. When you talk about antibiotics and painkillers, they are considered drugs. Medicines are considered which has a healing effect, does not have a fighting effect. Antibiotics, painkillers have a fighting effect. It's a conflicting state in your body when you consume. But if you see, when we talk about medicines, it's a healing effect. Now, medicine can be food, can be herbs, anything which is natural in nature can be medicines. So now people are like understanding that immunity is important. We should be taking care of immunity. But what I would like to tell people, the immunity was always of a great importance. But just because now corona is there and you don't have any antivirus for that particular virus, you're trying to increase your immunity. So I will talk on immunity, that if you try to take some vitamin C supplements, vitamin C, different kind of food, everything you will try to take it now. But if you think you're going to get your immunity levels on great immunity levels, good immunity levels, very good immunity within 15 days, it's not going to work, guys. Because immunity is earned and it is reached to a level when you have been in a particular lifestyle long enough, like 3 to 4 years of an absolute healthy lifestyle. You're eating well, you're sleeping well, your recovery is good, your toxication is less. If all those things are there for 2 to 3 years, then you have that immunity level. You cannot suddenly develop it over the period of time. So what people are doing today, I appreciate it. They have already taken the initiative, but I want to tell them that you have to make it your lifestyle. Minimum 30 minutes of physical activity is very, very important. Minimum 30 minutes of physical activity, 4 to 5 days a week is minimum required by every individual. Physical activity, why I'm using the word physical activity, that does not mean that you should go and lift heavy weights, try to become a bodybuilder, put on some muscles. Those are different things. Those are different aspects. Bodybuilders are bodybuilding. They are putting on muscle. Somebody wants to look great with muscles. They're putting on muscle. But that does not become a part of a physical activity necessarily. For an individual looking for a healthy body, immune body, a body where the immune system is good, needs to work out. A little physical activity of 30 minutes is very, very important. So if you have a good 30 minutes of physical activity for 4 to 5 days a week, you eat well, minimum 6 days a week, only If you eat once here and there, once a day, bit here and there, it's fine. But believe me, food is the most toxic substance humans are consuming, because every other thing has a limitation. You don't. So many people, they don't drink every day. There are not everyday toxications coming into your body, but food is something you eat 365 days, 3 to 4 days a year. So whatever you eat, whatever you eat, whatever you eat,
Samir sir, are you there? Okay, I guess there's few network issues with Samir sir's thing. Let's. It's already time up, so let's conclude the session back. I would like to thank Dr. Ashwini Garg sir and Dr. Vashni Adiga ma'am and also Samir Anjari sir for being here with Plantech Media House today and sharing their experience and information, health and nutrition. Thank you so much for being on the platform of Plantech Media House. We're glad to have you here. Signing off. Dhanasteva. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.